Shoot a cop 3 times, flee the state, and avoid capture for 18 years. Then, when you're finally caught, you only have to serve 6 years in prison. A heck of a deal, right? Certainly for the shooter, but not for the cop. News 13's Kim Holland is on special assignment.
You'd expect to find 50% off deals here, but not here. 62-year-old Lyle Moody got a half-off bargain after shooting an Albuquerque police officer multiple times in 1984.
I'm disappointed in it. I don't like it, and I've always had that issue with the system.
As 2 officers walked into an Albuquerque bar, Lyle Moody, a wanted man, thought they were coming for him.
Lyle Moody came out of the shadows kind of in the back of the room with the handgun drawn at us.
Moody opened fire and shot Officer Vic Webb 3 times.
I was losing a lot of blood.
Amazingly, Webb survived. But Moody got away. He was on the run for nearly 18 years. Police captured him in New York City in 2003 after they caught him trespassing. They shipped him back to New Mexico, where a Bernalillo County District Court judge sentenced him to 12 years in prison. But he served just half of that.
He served basically 6 years of a 12-year sentence, which is typical for inmates who are eligible to earn good time off of their sentence.
He earned the 50% reduction because he stayed out of trouble, got his GED, and took educational programs. So the law said he had to be paroled. The state let him out of prison the day before Thanksgiving.
Mandatory. And that's a problem.
If Moody's crime had taken place 15 years later, a judge would have sentenced him to 24 years in prison, and he probably would have served at least 85% of that sentence. But because state sentencing guidelines didn't become stronger until 1999, Moody got off with the lighter sentence. Webb doesn't miss the crime of Albuquerque. He retired from APD and now works for the Forest Service in southern Colorado. Webb hasn't thought of Lyle Moody much over the years until a friend told him he was being released from prison. Webb couldn't believe the news.
Anybody, I think, with that kind of a history, such as Lyle Moody, I think should not be eligible for parole with his past, with his background.
Moody is now living at an Albuquerque halfway house under intense supervision. News 13 was unable to track him down for this story.
And the whole point of that is to keep close tabs on him and basically remind him that his goal now is to become a law-abiding citizen.
The former officer is convinced Moody will reoffend. He's just hoping history doesn't repeat itself.
I'm afraid some police officer will casually encounter him again, not knowing what they have, and the same thing is going to happen.
Kim Holland, KRQE News 13.
Lyle Moody is on probation for the next 2 years. Under his intense supervision program, he must meet with a parole officer 4 days a week.